The next part of the lecture notes deals with some of the government regulations, regulatory measures. The Sherman Antitrust Act basically outlawed monopolies, and there were some amendments set onto that to kind of help out agriculture in a sense of being able to cooperate with each other, because those are against the law as well. And we will have an assignment that will be due on the discussion board Friday, dealing with the legislative acts. So I'm going to ask you to look up one of those and tell me a little bit about it. So we're going to kind of move on to the graphical part of this and talk about some implications of what the government does. So if the government were going to put on what we call a price ceiling, our imperfect competition is going to try to set quantity here and price here. And what the government is going to do is the government is going to say that this marginal cost curve is the supply curve. This is the demand curve. So price really should be here. And so they're going to tell that company that they can't set price any higher than here. And I've written P max. Not entirely sure you can see that, but price max. And the government's going to say this is where price has to be set at. Is this bold spot right here. Can't go any higher. Remember, this is where the imperfect competition would like to set it at. So what it does is it destroys or reduces the profits that company could make. But it does allow consumers to purchase at a lower price. So that's the purpose of setting that price ceiling. So that price can't go above that, so we reduce the profits of the firm. If we were to put what we call a lump sum tax, what this is going to do is it's not going to do anything about price. Unfortunately, the lump sum tax does not help out the consumers, which is why for us it's better to have a price ceiling on there. So we have a demand and a marginal revenue curve, and we have a couple total cost curves. So if we start with one total cost curve, we're going to set our quantity here. Same as usual, we create ourselves a new supply curve. So we're going to set price way up here. And what the tax does is it increases or it shifts their cost curve. So all that does is it decreases their profits. So originally their profits were able to be here in this red box. And with the tax, the profits are now the black box. The government also sometimes will set a price floor, and the price floor is set to help producers. So we have our, the demand curve. All right, so we have a demand for the product, we have the input costs and an input supply. And so sometimes, if this is where price is set, and unfortunately farmers know this way too well, is that sometimes this price here is too low, and so the government will set a higher price for us so that it can't fall below that.